Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the March 5th edition of Carolina Week, we'll tell you why the price of gas is so high and how the cost is affecting our daily lives.
He looks healthy now, but we'll tell you what almost killed this Carolina senior.
In sports, what could be better? This weekend, it's Carolina and Duke.
Weathercaster Jonathan O will tell us if we can expect more warm temperatures and spring showers.
All that and a big surprise for some of the Heel's most avid fans. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Adam Rue.
And I'm Sarah Huffman. Thank you for joining us. Chapel Hill police are asking for your help. They're trying to identify a shooting victim found dead this morning at the intersection of Hillcrest Drive and Hillcrest Circle. The victim is a blonde female between 18 and 25 years old, approximately 5'6" and 120 pounds. She was wearing gray sweatpants and a blue short-sleeved shirt. If you can help identify her, authorities are asking that you call the Chapel Hill Police Department at 968-2760. That's 968-2760.
The price of gas in the Triangle has matched a new record high, the same as we saw right after Hurricane Katrina. Some of you blame oil companies, which are reaping record profits, while others of you blame the state's high gas tax. Whatever the cost, things are getting tough for the average driver. Our report tonight from Carolina Week's Lib Curlee.
UNC senior Ellery Turner didn't expect her job to cost her.
Well, I pick up 2 kids in Durham twice a week, so I have to drive there and drive back, but I also take them to tennis practice and dance classes and go to the grocery store for their mom, so I spend a lot of money on gas every week.
Crude oil now costs more than $100 a barrel, which has sent gasoline prices soaring to a national average of more than $3 a gallon. Experts expect an upturn in the economy after the government pays out $107 billion in tax rebates starting in May. But with gas prices predicted to hit $4 a gallon this summer, those paychecks might end up at the pump. This won't affect drivers only. Those looking to buy new homes will have to consider heating costs, which could weaken the already struggling housing market. The burden in buying expensive gas is that it's an everyday necessity, so its impact is greater on those with lower incomes. Gas companies say the solution is investment in new energy supplies instead of increasing taxes on fuel that would hurt the consumer even more. UNC professor of economics Boone Tershi says no matter what, higher prices mean higher profits for gas companies.
The profit margins for these oil companies, the large oil companies, are really quite high, and that's a function of the major increase in petroleum prices. No question about that.
Gas prices go up when there's turmoil abroad because we depend heavily on foreign resources.
Immediately when there's an oil price rise or any kind of problem in the Middle East, you'll see prices at the pump going up very rapidly.
Like many consumers, Turner says she's watching her spending until gas prices go back down, if they ever do.
Well, because I have to spend so much money on gas, it means I'm not getting as much out of my paycheck. So I definitely think more about how much I spend during the week on going out to eat with friends and going out at night.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Lib Curlee. Carolina Week.
With the price of regular unleaded near $3.20 a gallon in our area, a fill-up for an average car will run you about $40. Well, it might not be cheaper, but some state vehicles on campus will soon use a new kind of gas. UNC's Facility Services now has an E85 tank at its service station. E85 is a blended fuel that's 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. More than 200 state vehicles will be able to use the new mixture. Facility Services spokesman Brandon Thomas says the new fuel shows the university's commitment to reducing dependence on petroleum.
It's totally renewable, which means that it, relies so little on fossil fuels, which are limited. A renewable fuel such as this is theoretically unlimited.
State law requires UNC to reduce its overall use of petroleum by 20% before 2010.
Most students don't have hybrid cars, but many will be leaving town for spring break coming up in the next few days. Marissa May joins us. Marissa, where are students going and what are those trips going to cost?
Sarah, the cost of gas is definitely figuring into the plans of Carolina students, and many are doing everything they can to soften the blow.
Well, now that gas prices are high, we're gonna pile in my friend's car and just split it up and hope that we have enough money to make it.
We were gonna go to Florida, but we just couldn't drive. We couldn't pay all that, so we're just gonna stay in Chapel Hill now and hope for good weather, you know?
This is like totally messed up my spring break plans. I was planning on going down to Florida with a whole bunch of friends. We were gonna like carpool right down there, have a good time, but I don't know, like it's so expensive.
Let's look at what it might cost you to get to some typical spring break destinations. If you want to go to Myrtle Beach, you can do that for about $30 one way. If you want to head down to Daytona Beach, that will cost you about $75 each way. And if you really want to go for that big road trip to the slopes of maybe Breckenridge, Colorado, count on spending $220 each way just for gas.
Marissa, what about flying? How has the cost of fuel affected airline ticket prices?
Of course, you do have the cost of the ticket and an extra charge you might not be expecting.
Airline tickets definitely have gone up a little bit based on the way that they used to price them, because now they're having these fuel surcharges.
So any way you look at it, you're going to have to shell out some big bucks to get to your spring break destination.
Marissa May reporting from the studio. Thank you. None of us wants to have a prolonged illness during our college years.
But preventative measures don't always work.
I'm Christina Montserrat. Many UNC students get the meningitis vaccine. Coming up, why you might not be safe against getting the disease.